Welcome all for the video lecture on data structures and algorithm. Today we are going to discuss about the 8th session of our first module, that is structures, unions and pointer. This is widely used concept on C program to develop either a program or applications. We'll see what are structures first. Structure is nothing but it is a collection of elements similar to an array. What is array? We have seen array is a collection of data of similar data type. Okay, it is also similar to array, but here in array it is a collection of similar data types, but in a structure it is a collection of different data types. Okay, when you have different data types to be used in a program, you can go with structures. Okay, whereas in array you can use the same data type. You can use it is a collection of elements of same data type, and the limitation we have in array is you cannot use the different data types. So that limitation is overcome with the help of the concept of structure. Okay, here the structure is a collection of elements of different data type. All together they are grouped under a single name. And the variables what we use here are called members of the structure. The variables what we use in a structures are called the members of a structure, and this structure is created by the user. The structure is created by a user, so it is called user defined data type. Okay, generally this is what a structure is. You have a struct, you have a keyword, okay, or structure tag for that. A struct is a keyword, and the tag for that struct, you give a name for that, either a tag or a structure of the tag. Then you initialize the members. Okay, here we have, if it is array, we give only int of 20, int a of 20, like that. Since here we are using structure, we use through the keyword struct. Okay, we define that through the keyword struct and with the help of a tag. And this tag is student here, and we initialize different data types here: character, an integer and a float. We are using 3 different data types: character of size 20, and integer for roll numbers, and a float for marks. These are all the members or fields of a structure. Okay, we'll see what is the syntax for declaring. What is the syntax to declare a structure? Okay, the first is you will be using the keyword struct followed by the structure name. Then you give the data types. Okay, what is the data type you are going to use in that structure? You give that data types followed by a variable name. The example they have given, student. Student is a tag for the struct, keyword struct, tag for that student, and you have integer data type, you have a character data type, and for a course name you again use a character data type, and for a course fees you have a float data type. This is a collection of different data types. We'll see what is the difference we have between the arrays and structure. The first difference is array is a collection of similar data types. Okay, you can use array only when you have similar data type, whereas the structure is a collection of different data type. This is the first difference you have. And array elements you will be accessing using the subscript. Okay, what are the subscripts you have? We have seen when we have discussed arrays in the previous concept, we have 2 subscript, one for the specifying the address, other the value. Okay, so it is accessed only through the subscript, that is the array is accessed to the address, whereas we use dot operator in structure. You can access the structure elements using the dot operator. Okay, whereas in array you will be using the subscript to access the elements. In structure you will be using the dot operator. And array is a derived data type. Okay, because you are going to derive the data type, that is you define a data type if a of 10, from that derived structure a of 10 you are going to initialize you are going to provide the inputs, where a structure is purely user defined data type. Okay, this is the third difference. Array is a derived data type, where a structure is a user defined data type. And the second thing is, the last thing is that here the ordering plays a vital role. Since it is accessed by the subscript, that is it is accessed by the memory address, the ordering of element is more important here. If it is A of 10, first element will be stored at A of 0, followed by A of 1, followed by A of 2, up to A of 9. This is what. Whereas the ordering of arrangement is not important in the structure, since in the arrays it is accessed through only by the subscript and the address of it is more important. So when you give it as A of 5, it starts with A of 0 to A of 4. So that ordering becomes very important here. Whereas in structure, the ordering of element does not play a vital role. We'll see how to define a structure. Structure name, that is tag of the structure, then the data type, members. Okay, what are the data members you use in the data type? All those that you will be defining with the data type and member of that. Once your structure is declared as a new data type, then you have to then you have to use the syntax struct, again a struct name, structure and the structure variable. We'll see example program for that. We are going to create a structure for a student named under tag student. We use how many? 3 different data types. For 4 different data types. For a character name, we use character for name. We use int for roll number. We use float for marks. Again, we use character for gender. Again, we use long int for phone number. Okay, this is how you declare and this is how you use a concept of structure. You can use multiple variables in structure where you can define it as a tag with the multiple names. Here the struct student st1, student st2, st3. Okay, this is all about structure. Next we'll go with unions. Okay, union is also one more concept, a flexible concept you have in C. Okay, unions are similar to structure, but you have the only difference you have is in terms of storage. Okay, in structure, when you use a structure, the storage, that memory space is created for all the variables, all the structure variables. But in case of unions, it clubs together. The memory will be shared together with all the variables it uses. So in this case, what happens? If I have 10 variables, it will be finding about finding the maximum needed memory for that particular application, and it will be finding out the data variable which is having data member which is having the largest value, and that memory will be allocated. For that, the memory will be allocated, and that memory will be shared by all the data members pertaining to that union, class. So you'll see what is the union declaration. It is similar to the declaration of structure. The only difference you have is the keyword. There you use struct, here you are using union. Okay, what is the vital difference you have between the structure and union? In structure, when you write the same program using the structure, when you give, instead of union, you give struct. For a character, it will be assigning 20. Memory will be separately allocated as 20. And roll number, it will be separately allocated. And if for a marks, a separate memory will be allocated. And for a section, a separate memory will be allocated. If this is done through the structure. When you use a union concept, among this which is holding the maximum memory location, character. So it will be allocating only 20 bytes of memory, and all this will be stored under the initially with the highest value. So character will be held, highest value will be initialized, the memory will be allocated. So when during the execution, this same memory will be shared by all the members of the union. This is what the difference you have between the structure and the union. So the first difference is the keyword varies. It is structure, it is union, and here in the structure each member will be occupying its own memory, whereas the memory space is shared by all the members of the particular union class. Then since the memory is allocated for all the members, it occupies more space. Since the memory is shared with all the members, it occupies less memory space. And here all the members of the structure can be initialized, since we are going to allocate a separate memory. Here only the members which has the maximum memory space will be That is the first member. What is the first member here? The variable which is having the maximum memory, which needs the maximum, will be initialized. The variables which are making the structures, creating which are under a structures are called structure variable, and the variables that which are under union comes under union variable. And here even it is all your structure elements are accessed to dot operator, and even here all your elements are accessed only through the dot operator, and both structure and union are user defined data type. Here you will be able to create a structure within another structure, and even in union you will be able to create a union within another union. See, this is what a clear pictorial view for a difference between structure and union. See, when the same thing, so I am using character X. For the character, the size of memory allocation is 1 byte. The size is 1 byte, and float it is of 4 bytes. So when I use the concept of structure, what happens? How does the memory? Main difference between the structure and union is in terms of memory. Structure, each and every character is allocated with its own memory, whereas union, the memory is shared with all the other members. So here we use two data types. One is character and float, and the size of the character is 1 byte, and a float, the size is 4 bytes. So totally 5 bytes are allocated to execute this program when we use the concept of structure. Okay, and when you use the same concept using union, what happens? So character, it is holding 1 byte, and float, it is holding 4 bytes. So what is the maximum memory? Which variable is holding maximum memory? Float is holding maximum memory. So 4, at most 4 bytes will be allocated. Under that, when the character is accessed, when the character is accessed, the memory will be allocated within that 4, and after execution of it, float will be replaced with that. Okay, this is what the difference you have between the structure and union. This is the example program here. Okay, you create an union with the integer x and y, and you're going to give the test function t dot x. What is dot operator? It is a way of accessing your union function. When it is equal to 2, you are going to what you're going to do is you're going to print what you're going to get the value, and you're going to print that. Okay, so initially after making, you assign the value of 2 into x, and you store that, you print that, and next again you're going to swap it. Okay, now x, you perform a swapping function over here. Okay, next it is going to get the value of y, that is 10. Then t will be stored in the variable x. Okay, then now y is equal to 10, and it is going to print that. Okay, here when you use the concept of union, y, the maximum memory space will be allocated. So what will be the output for this program? So when it gets the x is equal to 2, the output will be, after making x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2. Then when it calls the function t dot y, the members of y, then what will be the output? X is equal to 10, and y is equal to 10. So this is what the output we have got. Next we'll go to the third concept of the last session, that is pointer. Okay, this is most widely used concept on C, and it is based on the it deals with the memory allocation and accessing a memory of a program. Okay, usually what happens whenever we give an instruction, when we compile a program, all the data items should be stored. Okay, it occupies the memory cells. Whichever memory is free available, it occupies that memory cells. And the allocation of memory depends upon the data type we use. Okay, for character it is 1, for integer it is 2, and for double it is 4. So based upon the data type used, memory will be allocated. Okay, so when we declare a variable, so when you declare a variable, and based on the data type, the memory will be automatically allocated to hold the value what a user gives. And every byte occupies its own unique address here. So if it is an integer, it is going to have its own unique memory space with a unique address. And if it is a character, it is going to hold an unique address with its own memory. Okay, for this we use the concept of pointer. This pointer will be indicating the memory of the data types where the particular data type is stored. The location, memory location will be represented through pointers, and to access a particular memory location we use the concept of pointers. We'll see how pointer has to be declared. First the data type and the ampersand, the asterisk followed by the pointer name. This is the general syntax we have for defining a pointer. The data type, asterisk followed by the pointer name. Okay, this asterisk tells that it is a pointer name, is the pointer variable. It indicates that the name is the pointer variable. Okay, so when you have a pointer name or a pointer variable, it tells the system to allocate a memory. It needs a memory location. Okay, and the pointer name which is holding the data type specifies the allocation of memory to that. So if it is an integer data type, the pointer name specifies that there is a need of 2 bytes. If it is a character, it needs 1 byte. If it is double, it needs 4. So it is based on the data type, the memory will be allocated, and this will be access to the pointers. You see how to initialize a pointer. So example, if I want to initialize a pointer for count and speed, I give this asterisk count and speed. What it specifies here, it is going to specify the address where this count is stored. It is going to, so int, since it is int, you have 2 address space to store the count, and that will be specified to this asterisk. Okay, then you have float. For float it is 4. So the speed, you automatically when you give this, memory will be allocated for it. Okay, once you declare a pointer, and once the pointer variable is declared, you can access that using a pointer variable. Okay, see here int ampersand p xyz. It means that you are going to access the memory space of a p. Okay, now p is the ampersand of xyz. It is p is the pointer initialization which is holding the value of xyz. Now we'll see how to access a variable through a pointer. Okay, for this again we use asterisk operator to access the variable through the pointer. See, initially I give int a comma b. When I give next int asterisk of p, it indicates that p is holding the address of a and b is holding the value what is pertaining to the a. That is the memory location what value of b is holding. So what will be the value of b now? Actually p is holding the address of a, and now b is holding the asterisk of p. It is a memory pointer. It is going to locate the memory of p where p is holding the address of a. In term a b is equal to, what is the value of b now? The value of b is equal to a. Okay, then we have 2 concepts here in concern with pointer. One is passing argument by value, the other one is passing arguments by reference. Okay, we'll see example program for both the cases. The first case is passing arguments by value. Now I am going to pass the arguments by passing the value. See here, as usual, you have a header file, then a main function, then I am declaring 2 variables of integer data type. So int a comma b, and I am assigning a value for that. A is equal to 5, b is equal to 20. Now I am going to swap a comma b. So when I swap a comma b, what happens? I call a function, swap function here. Swap a comma b is a function, sub function I am calling. So what happens? It goes to the calling function, what we have under void swap int of x comma int of y. Okay, when a program is executed, when it finds the sub function, it function transfers to the sub function, so it comes to the swap function and the statements under it will be executed. So in the under that function you have int x and int y. Now what you're going to do is int of t, we are going to have one more variable t to shift the two variables. Now I'm going to shift x and y. I want to swap the values of x and y, which it is not directly possible. So what I do, I use a temporary variable to store the value of a particular variable and I swap with that. See what happens if I want to shift the benches of two classes. I cannot shift the benches of two classes at a time. I have to remove the benches of one class and place it somewhere else, and only that space is available, I can transfer that. Similarly, I cannot swap the two numbers directly. So I use a temporary variable t. So now what happens? T is equal to x. So what t is holding? T is holding the x value. Now what is x? X is equal to y. So what happens now? Y, value of y, that is first in t, t is equal to x. So the value of t is now 5. Okay. Then what? X is equal to y. Now the value of x is 20. Now what you do? Y is equal to t. So what is the value of y? Value of y was 5. So what will be the output now? Initially the output, what will be the output here? X and y swap. So what will be the, you are going to, what is it is going to print? It is going to, it returns the value to the main function again, and it is going to print a and b, a comma b. So what will be the output here? A will be 5 and b will be 10. This is passing the arguments by value. I am passing the arguments here by the value. I am not referring any reference using pointer here. The second case is passing the argument by reference. Now what I do, instead of passing the value, I pass it to the reference. See here again, int a comma b, as usual starts with a define. You have a main function int a comma b, then you initialize the value of a as 5, initialize the value of b as 20, then you are going to swap address of a and address of b. You are not going to swap the value, you are going to swap using reference. This pointer, what is this ampersand? This ampersand specifies the pointer, and you are going to swap. You are going to pass the argument by the reference. This ampersand specifies the address. So when you go to the swap function, it comes to the calling function, that is void swap int address of x, address of y. Now what happens? Again the t I am going to pass the reference. Since it is pass the reference, that is the address of a variable x. Again I enter swap. So while doing this, what happens? Address itself is swapped, so the values will also be swapped. So output will be, again it will be going to pass the value. So initially t will be holding the address of x. What is there in the address of x? X is 5. And what is there in the address of y? It is 20. So t will be holding the value of 5. Address of x is equal to address of y. What is that? Asterisk x is equal to asterisk y, that it specifies the value of y to be stored in x. So 20 will be stored in x. Now what is y? It is t. What the t was holding? It was holding 5. So what will be the output? It returns the value back by the reference. So what is the value here? The output, what will be the output? A is equal to 20 and b is equal to 5. Okay, this is all about the pointer concept. Thank you all.